Hello, Chocolo, Roberto here for another video review. This time we have the McVitie's V.I.Bs Luscious Blood Orange. Yeah, so, well, excited about this one really. I think I've possibly left the best to last with these. I mean, this is one I'm most excited for now. I've done the other two reviews, and I think this one, having reviewed the other two, I feel like this one's probably going to have the most to offer. So, but we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, so it's, I'm sure V.I.B will stand for very important biscuit. As you don't know, V.I.P generally stands for very important person. So I don't know whether it specifically said on some of the advertising boards in the shop or something, but yeah, I kind of, you know, I could be wrong, but very important biscuit. I'm quite sure that's what it stands for. So this is the Luscious Blood Orange flavour. So now there's an interesting sub description underneath which just says caramel and milk chocolate digestives. It doesn't say, there's no mention of orange in there, is there? So you're like, well, hang on a second, where's the orange gone? You know, and basically it's because on the actual official description on the back, we've got wheatmeal biscuits with blood orange flavour caramel covered in milk chocolate. So the caramel is flavoured, and it's the case with all three of them actually. There's a hazelnut flavoured one, and there's a non-flavoured one actually, it's just caramel. And obviously this is the blood orange one as well. It's a 250 gram pack. Yeah, so quite simple. Oh yes, before I forget, of course I have reviewed the other two. So at some point there will be I'll probably have put a playlist to all my biscuit reviews, which will be up here. But also at the moment as well, I'll put a playlist to all my other reviews. There's about 600 and I think it's like 20 actually videos. So but pretty much 600 of those are reviews. So yeah, so if you like this one and you want to review more of my reviews, so yeah, click on that playlist. Yeah, leave a comment for free, of course, as well, and subscribe if you haven't already as well. But yeah, so feel free to that. It will disappear. It'll be a nice symbol. It might go away, but it's always there as long as you hover over the screen or click on it or I don't know, tap on it or whatever you want to do. It will reappear. And as I say, there should be on some other playlists as well. So yeah, should keep you going for a bit. Okay, so back to this. Yeah, so it's a 250 gram pack. Each biscuit is 16.7 grams. And they're all the same, all three different types have got the same calories in them. 80 calories per biscuit, 3.6 grams of fat, 1.9 of which are saturates. That's the same for all of them. Because basically all that's different is the flavouring. So there's no like chunks of orange in them or chunks of hazelnut and hazelnut ones. It's literally just flavoured caramel. And what's disappointing for me is quite a nice packaging, I guess, you know. But there's no oranges on here, you'll notice. Basically, this is exactly the same for all three different types, other than the colour. So there's no oranges, and there's no hazelnuts on the hazelnut one. The caramel one's exactly the same. There's the same interpretation of caramel on here, which is like these sort of splodges of sort of caramel coloured ones as well as chocolate. And he did the same with their other range that they did recently, which was the what I've called the Great British Flavour range. I have no idea if that's what they were, but it's like marmalade on toast, cherry bakewell, strawberries and cream. And there was nothing special about the packaging other than the changing colour like they've done here. I feel like this one's perhaps had a bit more effort put into it, but even then, I don't know. I feel like it should have oranges on it or something. I mean, I don't know if that's going to imply it's got blood orange in it. But I mean, it's called Luscious Blood Orange, so I think I said that right. Luscious Blood Orange. You know, so I don't know. I just feel like minimal effort goes into these packaging. I was originally a bit more impressed when I reviewed the first one, but as time's gone on, I've realised they're exactly the same. Yeah, I've been a bit disappointed. Well, so what else is it on? It's super vegetarian. It's got some recycled information on there. I don't know what it means. Could mean anything. Just tell you, it does have some text on it, but I still, you know, I don't know. It says film on it. What does that mean? Does that mean the packet? Does it mean anything? Does it mean there's no film in this? Does it mean there is film in it? I don't know. Yeah, so there we go. No artificial colours or flavours. No hydrogenated vegetable oil. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say. There's some flourishes on here, which I'll go into when I open it. Long story short is you lose over 50% of the of the width of the pack, which is terrible. Yeah, but let's get into it and open it, and we'll look into that further. Let's do it. Right, okay, everyone, so I'm going to open these McVitie's V.I.Bs, yeah, V.I.Bs, and Luscious Blood Orange. Yes, so there we go, so it's going to open up. First of all, though, it's going to be 19.5 centimetres, the flourishes here. You can see here, my feet there's not much going on, but let me tell you there is, flourish-wise. So measure these, it's about, I mean, a bit difficult because they are scrunched a bit, and I can't stretch them fully, but I can't leave them scrunched either, so yeah, it's about 19.5 centimetres. I could put it longer, I could squeeze it more, but about 19.5 is the way I'm getting it. So let's open these up. Hopefully we'll get a nice orange smell. I think we did that distinctive a smell from the other ones. So we'll see. No. I'm not getting a nice smell there at all. Well, I'm getting a smell, it's more of a chocolate smell. There's no real orange smell at all there, which is disappointing actually. Okay, so we had 19.5 centimetres. This should be 12.5. Yep, I could make it smaller, but I'm giving it 12.5. So there's 7 centimetres we've lost there. There's 15 biscuits here. 5, if you can see this, hopefully you can. 10, 15, yep. 15 biscuits. So yeah, basically, I mean, I went over this in my last video. I've tried not to go over it too much, but basically it's just done purely because of those, you remember those old mathematical things you used to see where it's a line, and if they put sort of extending, protruding sort of corners, arrows on each side, it makes it look like it's longer than one that had them going inside the arrow. So I'll do a caption of that. And that's basically what they're doing here. And I know people might say, oh, they're just doing it because to make it easy to open or whatever. And it might make it easy to open, but let me tell you, do not believe for any reason at all that if they could make this packaging as small as possible and it would suit their own purposes, they would do it. The reason they've done it because obviously to fit them all into a box and to package them and send them off. If they're not as small as possible, it's going to cost them more petrol to do it and more distribution. They can send less out, etc., etc. Because this is a premium product, to make it look more special, you know, obviously they charge you more money for it. And I say premium, it's just the same, it's just flavouring in the biscuit, but it comes across as a premium product, and they charge you 50% more, whatever, for 50% less. So that's what they do, and also to make it look more prominent on the shelves, which is what it's about really, is to make it look more prominent on the shelves. Not really to make you think you're getting more of them, but that is a happy accident. I mean, well, basically it's both really, but but obviously if it's small on the shelves, you're not going to be able to see them as easy, so they need to make them bigger. But also the byproducts of that, and potentially accidentally on purpose, or basically for the same reasons they've done it as well, is it makes you think you're getting more in the pack than you are. And they have packaged them tight. Do you remember? They still do it, I'm sure, and if they don't, they used to do it with a lot of these products, where the packet was literally tight, and I must admit they were hard to open actually, but they did have a drawer pull, I think, on some of them, but they were tight, and they didn't care that it was hard for you to open those or whatever, because it was easy for them to distribute them, and it saved them money on the storage costs and transportation costs and things like this. Yeah, so there we go. So clearly, so don't be under any illusion that this is not for the purpose of making them look bigger on the shelf, to make you think there's more of them, and also for them to be more prominent. That's the only reason for it. And as I say, it's a premium product, so they can charge you more for less. Okay, so there we go. All that rant out the way. Let's have a look. So they should be, I think it's about 6 centimeters in width. These. Let's have a look. Yeah, 6 centimeters. Height-wise, about 0.6 centimeters, maybe 0.7. Yeah, 0.7, I think. Yeah. Okay, so you can see on the back, there's not much writing going on, but it just says McVitie's. It's interesting, got the dimples as well, no wheat sheaf, whatever it is. Yep. I said there's really no orange smell at all from this. You can see on the other side just a chocolate covering as well. Let's give it a snap in half, so it's close so you can see it. So it should be a nice caramel. Well, there we go. Yep, you can see. Ooh, look at that, yes. So the caramel's not too thick in these, you know, you can have a look. Quite a thin layer of chocolate, a thin layer of caramel, lots of biscuit. Yeah, there we go. It's a bit melted today, so it is melted in my hands a bit. But yeah, you can clearly see, hopefully you can see on the camera, the thickness of the chocolate and the caramel there. Okay, right, well, I think we should give these a taste. As I say, I'm not getting any, maybe a very slight orange smell, a bit like you'd get from a sort of like an ice pop that's orange flavoured. You know, it's just a bit watery. But even then it's very subtle. Okay, let's give it a taste and hopefully it'll taste like orange. Let's do it, let's give it a taste. Okay, once again, this is a blood orange, luscious blood orange chocolate digestives a taste. So yes, let's do it. So I was going to dunk it straight away then, but Yeah, so this is McVitie's V.I.Bs. There we go. I don't know how well that's representation of the represents the package very well. I can't scrunch up a bit, but let's give them a taste. There's definitely a chocolate flavour here, an orange flavour. It's an unusual one. It's definitely there. Because it's the caramel. Well, I assume it's the caramel flavour. It's different. It's weird. It's a weird one. It's basically orange flavoured caramel. So that's unusual. Yeah, it's different, this one. I don't think it's too bad, actually. I think it's an unusual flavour. It's not your typical orange flavour. As I say, it's the caramel that's flavoured orange. But it's definitely there, and it's nice, actually. It's a bit different, and probably what you'd expect, I think. I mean, it's a subtle orange, though, again. It's not a strong flavour, and I think the thing with digestives is when they do flavour their chocolate or caramel or whatever, it always is on the subtle side, and you might be expecting a bit more of a wow factor with it, but it's nice. Let's give it a dunkage as well. I'm going to dunk for a bit of time because I think it needs, because of the caramel holding it together a bit more, a longer dunk is necessary, I think, for these ones. Let's see. Softens the chocolate a bit, and the biscuit, of course, but I think the dunking doesn't work too well for this one because you lose a bit of the flavour because of the, well, in my case it's coffee. You could have tea, of course, but I think you lose the orange flavouring a bit. And it doesn't quite work as well. The orange flavour's not too bad. I think it's not quite as fresh as you'd like. It's very, it is there, but it's kind of, it's basically more of the, you get more of the caramel taste. It's got a hint of orange there, really, or some kind of orange flavour. I don't think I've ever had a blood orange, but it's basically orange flavour as far as I'm concerned in this anyway. So I can't say for sure if it tastes just like a blood orange, but it tastes orangey enough. Yes, I think it's quite nice. I think it's just, as I say, it's got a definite orange flavour there. It doesn't really smell of orange. I'd like if it smelt a bit more of orange. And I'd like it if the orange was a bit more of a fresh flavour, but nonetheless, it does taste of it. I just don't know if these are they just don't seem to get the flavours to my liking, McVitie's, when they do their sort of flavoured range. They just always seem a bit subtle. They are there, though, having said all this, and I don't know, maybe if it was more prominent it just wouldn't work, or the flavours aren't, just don't work when they're too strong. I don't really know. It's hard to say that one because, of course, without experience it, you don't know. But what I can say, what I have experienced, they do taste just a bit too subtle and not exciting. But this one, I think, is probably the best of the three. I think it's it just seems to taste a bit. It's just got something more about it than the other ones. I think this one, the other one's a bit sort of, well, one of them doesn't have any flavour at all. It's just caramel. And the other one has a very, very, very subtle hazelnut flavour, but nonetheless has something there that just makes it a bit nicer than the regular one, I think. But this one, I think, is just a bit different. It's the most different of them all, and it has something a bit more about it than the other two. And I wouldn't say it's the best flavouring in the world, but it just is. It's different. It's not your typical orange flavouring. It's not orange flavoured chocolate, as I say. And even if it was, it doesn't taste like your typical Terry's chocolate orange or whatever. It's very much distinct. But as I say, perhaps for me could be a bit better. So I'm going to say it's a high 3.5, a low 4. So I'm going to say a 4 out of 5. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, the only problem I would say on top of that, and the caveat to bear in mind, is the fact that you are losing 50% of what you'd expect. Well, over 50%. Based on the fact that it is actually, the pack itself was 19.5 centimetres. It's not stretch, but obviously I'm holding it out so you can, But then I'm giving it a bit of the benefit of the doubt with the scrunchiness of the biscuits as well. So and it goes to 12.5 centimetres. It should really be less than that, really, if I pushed them together properly. So you're losing 7 centimetres. Yeah, is it 50% that? Yes, because yes, it's 12.5 centimetres for the biscuit, and 7 centimetres has disappeared from the wrapper. Yeah, so from the length of what actually the product is before you open it. So obviously it's over, you know, what's 7, yeah, I don't know, is that, I don't know what that is. It's almost 60%, isn't it? 55, 60%, something like that. Yeah, so, terrible, really, terrible. Yeah, so, I mean, so I could mark it down half a mark for that. And it's tempting to, really, but I think the biscuits are not amazing anyway. The rating of them is quite low anyway. So I think I'm not going to give them that much of a problem, because I think otherwise it's losing the focus of what, you know. I think the biscuit taste is it deserves more than what would be a 3.5 out of 5. So I'm explaining to you the fact that, you know, maybe on a higher end product one that's borderline 5 out of 5, or is a 5 out of 5, I might lower it then, because I think, well, you know, I've got to differentiate the perfect bars from each other, and if it's just down to this, what's, you know, the wrapper size and what's in it, then that's going to be the case. But this one, because it's a bit more, I don't know, not as good as that really, I think I'm not going to lower it too far. And I think also the fact that biscuit ones are a difficult one anyway. They come in different packet size and stuff like cake bars, really. You know, they're a pain insofar as the packaging is concerned. But, you know, nonetheless, it doesn't matter. There's not an excuse. But I don't know, just for my own review ratings, this and the other, probably rambling on a bit too much. I just feel it's more appropriate not to lower this one by half a mark. You know, yeah, just you know, as I say, it's just different scales of things and just my own judgment on it. So, you know, but I'm making you aware of the fact that, you know, if it's really important to you, and if you've heard me reduce a mark for something else by half a mark, and I will tell you that I'm doing it because of the wrapper size or whatever, then obviously bear that in mind when you're comparing them yourself. You know, add the half mark back or whatever when you're comparing it with this. Just for some reason, for me, I don't know why, but I don't feel it's appropriate to remove half a mark from this one. Even though I probably should. But I think you just start, because there's a few different ones, and I think you're just starting to sort of get too low a rating for them, really, for what they are, when you start doing that. So that's why I've not done it, really. But yeah, it is a low 4, so there's a chance I might lower it to 3.5, but I think I'm going to, you know, I don't do silly marks like 3.75 or whatever, but if I did, this would be a 3.75 for sure. But I'm going to, as I say, go with 4 for the moment. So we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind when I come to do the captions or whatever, but there we go. Okay, so let me know what you think of this one, and what's your favourite out of the 3 V.I.Bs. Yeah, and also what you think of biscuits in general, which is your favourite. Leave a comment or 3. It's always good to hear from you, even if it's about something else as well, of course. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, things like this if you can. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye for now. See you.